Yeah, Third String Podcast. You already know. Talking topics, all sorts. Always everything sports. Third String Podcast. Plenty dialogue and banter. Talking all teams. But we always repping for Atlanta. Come join the discussion. You don't want to miss it. Keep it entertaining. All facts, authentic. NBA to NFL. And everything in between. This is Third String Podcast. Welcome to the team. Let's go.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We're the Third String Podcast, back with another episode and another. Look at this layout, guys. It's beautiful. For those that are listening via audio on SoundCloud, we encourage you to head over to YouTube. Just take a look-see, then close it out, and then just listen back on SoundCloud. But for those listening and watching on YouTube, it's a new day and age, and we're ready. Daryl, it is episode 45.
Yep, Jordan.
I was about to say, you know who wasn't going to be 45 on this episode?
Oh, yeah, we know who wasn't, but Jordan. Yeah. I was prepared this time, Jordan.
I was wondering myself, but that is a strong start. 45, Michael Jordan.
Right.
Hey, that fits with the theme, too. With the new overlay, it's a new day and age. Let's go. Daryl, what do you have for us today?
So today is the last day of the NBA bubble, regular season of the NBA bubble.
Miguel, at the time of recording, which is August 14th, guys. Yes.
Right. And we've had one game went to a close, and then it's one game playing now. Yep. But I'm trying to look it up which games are. So Miami, and I just had it up and it's reloading the page now.
They're still doing very, very well to me.
Yeah, Miami's doing very well. But so I just wanted to ask, what is your over? And it's Miami and Indianapolis playing right now. And Toronto beat Denver earlier today. We still have the Thunder and Clippers, Sixers and Rockets. Playoff things are basically set. There's really no implications this day. Yeah. But I want to ask just the overall bubble experience. What did you think of it?
We wondered before it happened. We wondered how it was going to look.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. It went exceptionally well.
It did.
It was actually entertaining, more so because of the games were good.
Right.
Like basketball came back. It didn't skip a beat. I am super surprised. I'm proud. The whole layout with even how it sounded and all that stuff, it wasn't bad at all. Basketball is back, and I like it, and I love that it's playoff time. Well, about to be tomorrow.
I thought the aesthetics was my concern of it with no fans. I was like, is this going to be boring? It's going to be – I always said it's going to be like LA Fitness.
Yeah.
And it was
way better than other sports.
Yeah, it was way better. It was entertaining. Like you said, the games were good. It started off with like the first 3 games were really close games.
Yes.
It was really – really good, and I applaud the NBA, Chris Paul, and the Players Association, even like ESPN and TNT, all the like everybody did a great job. I think they
covered it well. All the announcers did great. Everybody, yeah.
I thought they were very responsible with the masks. They promoted wearing masks. They did social distancing. You could see even with like the commentators had the plexiglass in between them.
Yeah,
the players had to only stay on the bench that they couldn't switch seats.
Their seat, yes, correct.
Where they was at, and I thought, and this is they're
staff
in a
had mask. Yeah,
the staff had mask. If they look at the when you did an interview of a player, they had the long mic, so you didn't have to.
It looked weird, but yeah,
it was very responsible. It was very responsible, and then the commercials were just. We talked about the Nike commercial. They had a commercial. Yeah. They were just very responsible.
They did their thing.
Old Navy has a commercial, make we or something with we, and I thought it was really good. Like they have very, very responsible commercials that I thought the NBA, even with the virtual fans, at first I thought they were corny, but I just like the way they got the people involved because you see them with babies and dogs. Like you can see people trying to have fun with this thing.
Yeah,
you see celebrities there. The
baby thing was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, I thought they did very well.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the players more, communicating with each other. You still miss the fans, but it's like, it didn't hurt that much with them not being there.
One thing in regards to fans, it really shows you how many players actually have nerves.
Right.
So what I mean by that is playing in front of thousands of people plus on TV, a lot of people weren't showing as good of skill as they actually have and as they are. And what I mean by that is some of these people are balling without fans.
Yeah. No, they are.
Like, they're showing out, meaning they're not as nervous because nobody's there in person. So, yeah.
No, you have people ball. We had TJ Warren was balling. The Phoenix Suns, who went undefeated,
And
was balling.
Still didn't.
They still didn't make it, and that's because, and that shows that they kind of underachieved during the season, and that's what you're talking about. They underachieved because they were a lot better.
If you look at the roster, that team's not bad.
That team's not bad, and it's because they underachieved through the regular season. They were so percentage behind because Memphis went 2-8, 2-6 in the bubble. Memphis should not be in the playoffs. Memphis should not be in the playing games, but they're there because they were so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah,
right?
Already. Correct.
Yeah. So, but it should be Phoenix and Portland tomorrow doing in the playing game.
I agree. But did you see real quick? Did you see what was it? Memphis and Portland social media did for Phoenix? They gave them credit.
Oh, really?
They gave them their socials, their professional socials, gave them credit and a shout out for doing so well and knowing that they should be in there.
They went undefeated. Like, I was questioning why were they even there. And then,
I was too.
But that's why I was upset. That Phoenix is the reason I was upset all 30 teams went in there. Because how do you know, like, the Atlanta Hawks wouldn't have went undefeated? Like, that growth that they could show and be excited for next year. Like, Phoenix Sun, you're excited for next year because you're like,
for sure.
This team is really good. But and then we could talk about another, so we talked about TJ Warren, we talked about the Phoenix Suns, but you can't talk about greatness in the bubble unless you talk about Damian Lillard.
You got to talk about Damian Lillard. MVP of the bubble.
Yeah, the last 3 games, I believe, you have 51, 62, and then 42.
Yeah.
And that was after he missed the 2 free throws against the Clippers that would have put him up by 1.
Right.
And we were just talking offline. You was talking about the Clippers making fun of him.
Yeah, they were roasting him, giving him a hard time during the game, laughing, rolling on the bench, literally. Patrick Beverley, and then tweeting about it too. So it's Patrick Beverley and Paul George. Do you want to mention why this has no significance and what did Lillard do to them?
Yeah, it doesn't have any significance because who are Patrick Beverley and Paul George? They haven't done anything. They haven't won. Yeah. They haven't done anything. And who is he to kind of, who are they to kind of make fun of Damian Lillard?
Well, we know Beverly's a troll. He gets under your skin. That's who he is.
And the reason they were doing the wave at him is because Damian Lillard did that to them.
Two separate occasions.
Damian Lillard against Houston, I think 3 years ago, hits the shot to end their playoff run. And then last year, he does it to the Oklahoma City Thunder where Paul George was guarding him.
And wasn't that the one where the shot was super far? It was pretty much like a 4-point shot.
Right.
That thing. Yeah. But he hit it with form. It wasn't ugly. It was a legit shot. And he jaded it right in their face. And that was it.
And does the wave. He does the wave at them.
Yeah.
And
I love the wave.
Yeah, but that's why they did it. They didn't do it because they did it because because they waved at him.
And they want to get him back, but it's not the same. It's not like you got knocked out of the playoffs.
Because it's like, bro, how dare you? The only person that should be gloating is Kawhi Leonard and Doc Rivers. Yeah, who would and then Dame on Twitter says that basically Paul George is running from the grind. He jumped because he never. Paul George
kind of true.
No, it's true, but Paul George has never got out the first round since his Pacer days.
Pacer days, yeah.
He's never gotten out the first round.
Yeah.
So when he started jumping to make super teams, he's never gotten out the first round. And then he was he's a great defender, but it was if you go to YouTube, you can see 7 game-winning shots all on Paul George. So it's
that's true.
But
He can also, he can ball though.
He can ball, but he had another one in the bubble. Devin Booker shot the game-winning shot on Paul George.
Which he could have defended that better, but shout out to him for like hitting that shot. But Paul George could have done better.
But he on Paul George, so it's just like, especially when you had a game-winning shot on you, like kind of how dare you kind of talk about somebody else, especially Dame, who's hit game-winning shot after game-winning shot.
Yeah,
because he hit a big shot against Dallas and the last game against Brooklyn. Correct. He hit, and I thought they should have blown out Brooklyn. I was shocked that they only won by 2, but he hit game-winning shots there. Like Dame he has to be the MVP, right?
So
of the bubble.
Are they not of the bubble? Yes, 100%. So what's up with like awards?
So they have a voting. They're voting, and basically the awards are only for the season pre-bubble. So these awards have nothing to do with the bubble.
Who's MVP?
MVP is Giannis, LeBron, and I forgot who the third one is.
Right. You think they're going to give an award for bubble wise? I doubt it, but they should.
But they should.
Because to me, it's an adjustment.
Yeah,
this has never been done before. I feel like you have to award somebody.
Yeah, and you got to look at a team like Toronto, a team like Phoenix, Damian Lillard, T.J. Warren, who balled out. And here I have the award so far. So for most valuable player is Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, LeBron James.
You know who's going to be mad in that? Your boy Harden's going to be mad. You're not going to win it.
He's not going to win that.
It actually may be LeBron, to be honest with you.
Nah, I think it's Giannis. But the problem is both teams didn't play well in the bubble. Both teams didn't
What was LA's record? Lakers.
LA, I think they only won 2 games because they clinched
I think so.
Early. If you give me a second, I will.
They clinched, I think, with their second win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they clinched.
And then they were done.
Really early.
Yeah. They were on the bubble, quote unquote, of clinching. Then they won that first opening game that they had, barely. Right. And then, they were playing another quote unquote good Clippers team. And then they won their next game. And then they clinched their second game, and sat LeBron the third. They were done.
Out by Toronto.
Yeah. No, I know, but I'm saying, before that, you're right. Before that, then they sat LeBron. It was like they were already set. They were good. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, though, because you went from 4 months or so, 3.5 months of not playing, and then you play. You did what you had to do. You clinch first seed. I kind of not mad at it now that I look at it of them sitting them down.
Yeah, but the thing is, so you're going to go into the playoffs, without that, you can't say momentum, basically. I just think.
Well, I'm saying for LeBron, he's older now.
Right. Yeah. So I got it up. So the Lakers went 3-5 in the bubble. The Bucks went 3-5. So both teams went 3-5, losing record in the bubble.
They did what they had to do, and they were done.
Yeah, but it's like the problem is making Giannis and LeBron the MVP is like recently all you have is the bubble. Because it's almost like 2 different seasons. Like that, the regular season was seen so long ago that you're rewarding people not from what they see now, but what happened almost 6 months ago. Yeah. So that's the bad part of it. But let me go to the other awards. So Rookie of the Year.
You got to think, too. It's crazy. You had a whole first half of the season. Then, you had the All-Star break. Then you only had weeks before the shutdown.
Right.
So you're right. You're really looking at, pre-February.
Right. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
All right. So Rookie of the Year is Ja Morant for
I saw that.
Kendrick Nunn, Zion Williamson.
Should Zion actually be in that?
No, he missed too much time.
I said that too.
He missed too much time. It should be Ja Morant.
His stats aren't bad.
Yeah, but the problem is the bubble. Ja Morant did not play well in the bubble, but Zion played well, but they could put him on the restriction. And Kendrick Nunn didn't really play that well in the bubble either.
I said it should be Morant. Personally,
it should
that's what
be
I
Ja
said.
Morant. If you're just talking about before the bubble, it should definitely be Ja Morant. Defensive player of the year, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert. Who do you got?
Those are all fair.
Yeah.
I might go with Anthony Davis for this time.
I'm gonna go with Giannis for the number 1 defensive team in the league.
If he gets that and MVP,
I have
incredible.
him MVP. So 6th man is Montrezl Harrell from the LA Clippers, Dennis Schroeder from the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Lou Williams from the LA Clippers.
I want Sweet Lou to win it again.
Okay, I'm going with Dennis Schroeder.
No, I either or. I actually like all three of those guys.
Yeah, all three of them. Like this one, I don't really care that much. But
Schroeder would be nice. Hometown. Well,
he used
that. Yeah. So.
All right. So most improved player is Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat, Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks, Brandon Ingram, New Orleans Pelicans. Who you got? I'm gonna tell you who I got. It seems like you're thinking. I'll tell you who I got. I got Brandon, and this I got the last one, and this is why. Bam Adebayo and Luka Doncic are still very new in the league, so to put most improved on them, is like Luka's this is second year in the league, so to put most improved on him when he was already really good last year.
Yeah, what? Wait a minute. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why is he in that category when he was never like bad?
When I saw him, that's I was shocked too. Bam Adebayo, you can make an argument for him because he was good,
bubble for sure.
Good. Yeah, he wasn't this good. So but Brandon Ingram is mine, and the last one is Coach of the Year, Mike Budenholzer for the Milwaukee Bucks, Billy Donovan, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Nick Nurse.
Hold on, pause. Ex-Gator, 2-time national championship winning coach.
Of course,
Billy Donovan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, you have to. It has to be a Gator.
Who was the last person?
Nick Nurse from the Toronto Raptors. Who you got?
Coach of the Year? I'm Billy Donovan. All day. No. Hold on. Not because of the Gator thing, but that team was projected to be trash.
No, you're right.
They were set up to be trash.
And that's why I believe it should be coaches, Nick Nurse and Billy Donovan. Because both of those teams were supposed to be bad. Mike Budenholzer, that team was supposed to be good. So I don't even know why he's here.
Yes, correct.
That's supposed to be. But Nick Nurse and Billy Donovan, especially like Billy Donovan, that team was not – that's supposed to be a lottery team.
Bruh, that team was supposed to have all those draft picks that they got. A Chris Paul that was hopefully could sit there until they draft right.
And they could
try and get another good draft pick this year, like you said, lottery.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They were not supposed to make noise this year. But they're the one – to me, they're the laughing to the bank. Because not only are they in the playoffs and they're in this bubble – they're actually good, and they have all that future behind them.
Yeah, so I guess you talked me into it. I agree. Billy Donovan should be because Nick Nurse. The Raptors were still supposed to be competitive. They weren't.
They weren't supposed to be up there.
They were supposed to be like playoffs. Like I had them 7.
There. I had them. I had us at 7 early on.
I had us at 8.
But I had them in the 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so they weren't supposed to be there.
But they're still supposed to be competitive.
Correct.
But the Thunder were not supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder were not supposed to. I'm with you, Benny. Billy Donovan should actually get it. So now we're talking about who we liked in the bubble.
Yep.
Who was disappointing to you in the bubble?
All the top teams. They didn't care.
Except the Raptors. All the top teams.
But the Raptors always have felt like they had something to prove because
they have a scrappy team.
And because of last year, the whole Warriors team got hurt. Every star got hurt.
Right.
I would love to see a healthy rematch, though, of that. If you could go back in time. But they got it. They got the dub. So it is what it is. But who was upsetting? Clippers. That one hurt.
Clippers were 4-3 in the bubble.
That's positive, but that's not what they could have and should have done.
Right.
Lakers, of course, did what they had to do. I felt
thought
like
they were disappointing. Even games they played together, especially Anthony Davis and LeBron. I think they only had one good game where both of them
the
had
first one.
Yeah, the Lakers were super disappointing. I think the 76ers were disappointing.
Yeah, and then when Simmons got hurt, it was just like, nah.
It was a wrap.
Yeah. It shouldn't. But what's up with what's sad about that team?
What?
Some star always gets hurt on that team.
Yeah,
for the past 5 years or so.
It's always something that holds them back.
Yeah.
Another thing, New Orleans Pelicans were extremely disappointing. I.e., Lonzo Ball he had a good game his last game, but other than that, he was terrible.
He was not good. Not good. That team showed me what you were always saying, that all the other teams should have been in the bubble. They should not have been in the. They had no chance of sneaking to 8. They had no chance.
Going into the bubble, I felt like they did have a chance.
No,
I
agree, but when you saw what they did, they had no chance. Like, you're like, really?
And then the way they did Zion was like, we're not trying to win here. We're only going to try.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, we're not trying to win here. And I'm like, why are you even here?
Like, you screwed over JJ Redick.
Yeah, you didn't even. It's almost like you didn't give them a shot to even. So them restricting Zion is like they weren't even trying to win. It was like we're gonna fight for the playoffs, but not really, because we're gonna play him for like 3 minutes straight, then sit him out for like 5 minutes. Yeah, and it was just like even Zion was kind of getting frustrated.
He said it. He voiced it. But can you believe they only gave him 15 minutes?
Yeah,
15-minute game. Like, what is that?
It was like. And then, of course, the people who Brandon Ingram played very well. Yeah, but that was really it. That was really it.
Yeah, they were just playing games to just get them over with. You saw the youth of that team; like, they couldn't handle playing against bigger dogs.
Yep.
Also, the higher ups, what you're saying in restricting Zion, it makes me think and wonder, like, why did you join the bubble?
Right.
Like,
right.
Could there have been some type of pass where you're like, no, we don't feel like we're good enough to be in this. We're gonna let somebody else have it. The reason I say that is because, like, what you're saying, you didn't try. You literally didn't try. Like, if you had a chance today to make the playoffs for that organization that hasn't been good, and you can make it with Zion,
because JJ Redick played well.
Yes. But I'm saying you had a chance.
Yeah, you had a chance, and you
kind of What team has a chance and doesn't take it?
There is a team, and they play baseball. Remember the Washington Nationals, where Steven Strasburg was at first season? They benched him on a pitch count.
I remember. I remember that. Yeah,
because they benched him. Like that's what that reminded me of. That's exactly.
I remember that actually. Yeah.
I have 2 more disappointments.
I have one that wasn't disappointing. You always spoke on it.
Okay, my other one is the
Wizards.
Hold on,
bro. You spoke that whole thing into existence before the season restarted. You said, like, honey, I'll be back home soon because I'm only gonna play these 8 games and dip out. They literally did. They literally were gone.
As Bradley Beal said he wasn't playing, and that's my disappointment is not to the Wizards. It's to the NBA for allowing them to come in here. Like, it's like if you're gonna restrict teams, they had no shot.
You wasted. The NBA should be like, bro, you wasted all my time organizing this, paying for a hotel room for you all to do that. Get out of here.
I'm like, somebody else could have took y'all tests. Like, all the coronavirus tests we done wasted on y'all.
That's true. That's true. That gets deeper. Wow.
We're going to play these last 8 games and we're going to get up out of here. We'll get out of here. And that's exactly what happened, man.
They were
in their last game. I wanted them to go 0-8.
But it's so bad, Daryl, that I didn't even see a game. They barely. I don't even did they. I don't think they played them on. I think they played them at like 10 a.m. when nobody was up.
No, everybody was asleep.
We gonna sneak this game in real quick, and
it was like the Wizards. So that's why I'm not disappointed with the Wizards. I'm disappointed with the NBA for even allowing.
Correct.
My heart could not be here, but they could. It's like,
oh man, yeah.
It's like crazy. But my other one is the Memphis Grizzlies. We talked about it last week. I thought they're the youngest team in the league, the youngest by number, and they showed it. They showed that they were the youngest team. They just weren't good. And especially when Aaron Jackson Jr. went down, I knew they were done. I'm shocked that they even made it to the playing game because I thought they would just lose every game.
Yep.
Like,
I'm surprised.
And it's unfair. I know it's unfair that Phoenix Suns went 8-0 and they went 2-6, but Phoenix Suns is out. But it shows Phoenix Suns underachieved during the season because then they could have had a shot for it. But Memphis Grizzlies do not deserve to be in the playing game because they played terrible.
Isn't that crazy that like if you look at Phoenix and you look at like another team winning 1 or 2 games and they make the playoffs or the play-in game. If you look at that, you got to actually go back and think about how small was the margin of like error that had to occur for you to actually get in. Right. So if a team won 1 to 2 games and you went undefeated, you barely had a chance.
Yeah, no, because that margin of error was really and then like it was funny if the Blazers would have lost against Brooklyn, they would have been out. Phoenix would have jumped into the playing game. Memphis would have been the 8, Phoenix would have been the 9, and then Portland would have been out. It was just like the margin, like you said, of that had to happen. But this is why I said every team should have been in the bubble because young teams need the experience. Memphis showed that they were not experienced enough for this moment, and that's how Portland gets in. But everybody needs that experience, and because, like, I think if Wizards would have said, "Hey, man, we suck. We don't even have a shot. We don't want to be in there," and they would have said, "Hey, Hawks, do you want to be in?" I think the Hawks would have said yes, even without having
all day.
And because you need that.
Look at what Phoenix has done or did.
Exactly.
Rather. Yeah.
Exactly. You had times where Sacramento looked good. Like
that's true.
Toronto only got better. Like Toronto's scary, Portland's scary. Denver, even though they went 3-5, they look scary when they're on clicking on all cylinders. So like you need that experience. So speaking of the playing game is tomorrow at 2:30.
Right.
Tomorrow at 2:30 is Portland against Memphis. If Portland wins, they are automatically in the playoffs. Memphis will have to beat Portland twice. So both
say that over one more time.
So Portland only has. So if Portland wins tomorrow, Portland's automatically in. Okay. If Memphis wins tomorrow, then they play again, and if they beat them, Memphis beats them again.
Best 2 out of 3.
Only for the 9th seed. Only for the 9th seed.
Okay.
Portland only has to win 1 game. Okay. That's it. So,
wow.
We both did not like the playing game. Has your mind changed now that you're
it would only change, Daryl, if our Hawks were in that prediction. Right. Without me having a player in this, I still don't like it. What are we doing here? Why are we letting the 9th seed have a chance? Bro, you blew it.
Yes.
You're the 9th seed. Yeah. That's your position.
What makes me dislike it even more is how this turned out. If it was like Portland was just battling and Portland was the 9th seed and Memphis was doing good, then maybe okay, whatever. But for Memphis to just plummet and Portland to go way up, and it's like, what's your prediction for this game tomorrow?
It's gonna be a Portland victory.
I think Damian's gonna put up like 45 and blow them.
It's out. Minimum 40. Like,
and
then the way I want him to have another buzzer beater, though. I really do. But personally, I don't think it's going to get there because he's going to have the 40-something, and it's just going to be clear. They won't have to do any. Yeah.
Portland was in the Western Conference Finals last year, and they have Carmelo. They have all these people with experience. They're going to blow Memphis out. And the reason is, so why are we doing this? So why are we doing this?
I want to know how that got approved.
Because you have to incentivize the rest of the players showing up. Like, so why would a Phoenix show up if they didn't theoretically have a shot? So you're trying to get like
they only had a shot for the 9th seed though. If we actually are looking at it.
Right. So that's why you asked Washington to get in, because theoretically if they get the 9th seed.
We knew that wasn't gonna happen.
That was a trash idea. It was a trash idea.
I'd love for them to be interviewed. Do you have any regrets about the bubble? Yeah, letting Washington in this.
Yeah.
And everything else is good though.
Washington just spent all our money.
They really, bro. They had a vacation. That was it. They took a vacation and hooped a little bit. I don't know.
That's what maybe we're gonna play these little 8 games. We're gonna be up out of here. I'm gonna be back home soon.
Oh, crazy.
The playing game is just a cheap gimmick, and I just don't like it. Especially when you have Phoenix, who missed the 9th seed. It's just like it's more of a cheap gimmick that I don't really care about. I'm gonna watch it because I expect Portland to be. I expect to stop watching around halftime. I think it's gonna be.
I still think it's gonna be a good game because it's playoff. You can't sit anybody.
No, you can't. But that's why I think Portland will blow them out.
Oh, I agree. But I'm saying it's gonna be very competitive. It's gonna be entertaining. I'm ready for it.
I think I'm just ready for Dame Dollar, man. Dame time.
It's like my favorite. It's like my favorite thing that he does, man. It's cool. I don't know. It's so basic, but Dame time.
I'm ready. So let's review the playoffs. Okay.
Yep.
So the playoff matchup for the most part are set.
Correct.
So we're gonna go through each matchup. You just let me know how you think it's gonna turn out. We're gonna start with the East first.
Got it. Yep.
So East, we have the Milwaukee Bucks against the Orlando Magics. What do you think?
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna be a sweep or?
Yes.
I do too.
All right, and they're doing it the regular format, right?
Right. Regular format.
Okay, just making sure. It's easy sweep. Now, if this were still located in Orlando with fans, they could sneak one.
Okay. Right.
Orlando, but with it just being what it is, just pound for pound, like skill versus skill, it's gonna be a sweep.
It's gonna be a sweep. Especially with, I just read Mo Bamba has had some complications because he had coronavirus earlier in the summer, and he's having some complications now. I got to read more on it. I literally saw it before we came on, so I have to look into it. Yeah. The team is Raptors against the Brooklyn Nets.
I could see Brooklyn's taking 1 or 2 off of them, but having the Raptors still win it.
All right. I have a clean sweep of the Raptors. I think the Brooklyn was a little fighting for the Washington Wizards thing too. Like if it wasn't for them already being here, you could get them up out of here too. Without Durant, Kyrie, Taurean Prince wasn't there. DeAndre Jordan wasn't there. They were missing so many players.
Yeah, that makes sense. I still think they can possibly get one up off them though.
Okay, cool.
Who knows? Who knows? But definitely Raptors victory.
All right, so these are the better games. We have Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers.
Celtics.
Yeah, I got Celtics probably like in 6.
I would go with that. Yeah. Especially with Ben out.
Yeah. And not only did they, but even before they went out, they're a very dysfunctional team. They're a very hot and cold team.
They were so good, in my opinion, before this whole quarantine thing. They were more sound and together.
They played great at home and terrible on the road. I don't know what's up with them on the road, but they played terrible.
Yeah.
But they're just not a team. They lack shooting. they're just so up and down. I kind of don't trust Philly, so I think Boston will win in 6.
I don't know when they'll actually live up to what they can be. I do not know. I don't know. It might be the best that never was type of thing. They should be so good.
I think they're too emotional. And then it's like they're trying to jam back. They're not a great shooting team. Joel Embiid keeps shooting threes. He's not a great shooter. Al Horford's not a great shooter. Like, the only great shooter on that team is Tobias Harris. And they should have kept JJ Redick. They probably should have kept him. But they just need to build that team better, and they didn't. They're not a great team. I think Tyrese, the rookie, Thibault, I thought he did pretty good in the bubble. And he looks like he's developed a shot when he came in the league, not a great shooter. But they're just not – I just think putting together a team-wise, they're just not doing a good job of that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so the last one on the East is the Miami Heat against the Indiana Pacers, which is probably
that one's difficult.
And don't forget, Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren hate each other.
They do. And we haven't seen that rematch yet.
Yeah, this will be the first one.
Oh man, you might see a max game 7.
I think this will go 7. This will go.
If
7.
not 6, it's not going anything lower than that.
Yeah, because like if you look at the Heat, man, Dragic has been playing good. Duncan Robinson's been playing good. Hero was playing good. Like Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, like that team is good.
Yeah.
Go to Indiana where Victor Oladipo is back. TJ Warren has been playing crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the best series.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Let's go. When is that matchup?
I'll tell you this. I'll look at it and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they have the actual schedule out yet.
Yeah, maybe not for they had the play-in one, and then they'll get the rest of them soon. So no worries. Let's go on to the West.
All right, the West. We're gonna start off with Lakers and Trailblazers.
You guys out there may be like, Miguel, what's up? It might be Portland, man.
You got Portland?
Might be, bro. You have a revived Carmelo, lost weight, healthier,
right. So he could play the
balling again.
Play the 3.
But he also knows those other guys because he's been around. He knows the LeBrons.
Right.
He knows what's up.
Right.
Let me ask you. That's who I have, though. Portland. I'm sneaking them through. Portland.
I don't have an issue with that. I think it's
I had
bold.
a question, though. What do you think happens if that does happen? If Portland does win?
Lakers
what
have
happens?
To take you have to basically, other than Anthony Davis and LeBron James, blow up that team. And
Anthony Davis, Daryl, is not coming back.
That's your
if they get first rounded, what are we doing?
I think he will come back still because him and LeBron are like they're on the same management, and LeBron fought hard for Anthony Davis.
Bro, friction will happen. It will occur if you get first rounded. Friendships do get buried over a lot worse.
The Lakers were not good in the bubble. Pope wasn't good. Williams wasn't good. Quinn, like they didn't play particularly well. Alex Caruso had games where he hot cold.
I don't know how though you can blow up that team.
Well, they have a lot of people on one contract, like Dwight Howard, Garrett Bailey.
Oh, true. Well,
Jared Smith, like all those Morris, like all those people. You just gotta blow them up, and you gotta really look at yourself, like how are we gonna build? Because you're gonna have to have LeBron and AD, and you have to put shooting around them. They're not a good shooting team. I said this about Philadelphia. They are not a good shooting team.
Yeah, you're right.
And for them to like be serious threats, Anthony Davis has to be like the first couple of games. Anthony Davis was scary from the perimeter.
Right.
He has to do that, and I would also trade Kyle Kuzma. He'd be gone. I would trade him to try to make my team better if they was to lose. I don't have them losing. I have them winning in 6. I think, like you said, I think Portland. I think every game is going to be close.
Yeah,
Portland is going to push them to the max, man.
and they need it. They need that fire up under them again, so they can do what Lakers can do and make a run. Like, you're not gonna. To me, it's a good thing for LA to play. It's a good and a bad thing. It's good because you need to be pushed.
Right.
It's
absolutely.
bad because you could get knocked out, or you guys could be so tired from this series that it could hurt your next one. So,
right. And in an update, the first game of Indiana and Miami's on August 18th, which is a Tuesday at 4:00.
I'm there.
You're there. So
I'm
the next West team, I just had it, is Clippers and Mavericks, which all the West is a good matchup.
That's a good matchup too. How Dallas has been playing.
Yep.
Bro, Luka, like,
yep.
I stopped and I showed Jocelyn. I was like, he could have been a Hawk, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, why do they? She was like, why do we always trade good people?
Well,
I'm like, we had a good person. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trae Young is awesome, but he ain't Luka, and for one thing,
he's not.
Luka can defend, and Trae Young can't.
But bro, Luka could single-handedly just win games. Trae does it, but Trae's also small.
He's small.
It's like that. Luka can also take it to the paint and then body somebody because of his body.
Luka in the East.
Oh no, not fair. Not fair. Not fair.
We would have been balling out if he was a Hawk.
Do you see it too?
Yeah,
it's
true.
true.
Every time I watch him, I was like, I just wonder how that team would have been if he was a Hawk.
Listen, if he were a Hawk with the moves we made that we actually have, you're in the playoffs.
Oh, definitely.
You're a 5th, 4th seed team.
And
in the East.
And the biggest thing is Luka is a walking triple-double who can defend, and Trae Young can't defend anything. He doesn't. He has to be a better defender than what he is. He is statistically one of the worst defenders in the league.
Yes, he is. He is.
So
for me, if I'm Trae and I'm like, I didn't make it in the bubble, bro, you got to be working out and working on that
strength
somehow,
and desire to play.
You have to.
Right. So, who do you have? Clippers and Mavericks.
Clippers. I still have them from before when we were predicting where Kawhi was going to go, and we nailed it with him going there. I still feel like he has a chance, just like we did when we were making those predictions back then, that he still has a chance to win another ring with 3 different teams.
And if you watch Kawhi, like sometimes I watch Kawhi and I was like, does he miss? Like, it just seems like he has one of the best efficiencies in the league. It's like he just takes really smart shots and he doesn't miss too often.
Oh, he learned that from Pop. Yeah. Yeah.
I think if he would have
great coaching.
Great coaching. So the next game, and I do agree with you, Clippers. I have Clippers over Magic, probably in 6, just like I have the Blazers and Lakers.
Yeah.
Next one, Nuggets and Jazz.
They played during the bubble, right?
They play in the bubble.
That game went into like
that went to overtime, I believe.
2 overtimes. 2.
Right.
Double overtime. And I watched it. It was a great game, great matchup. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna go to 6 or 7. But who do I have winning?
Mm-hmm.
Probably the Nuggets.
Yeah, I got the Nuggets too. I think Nuggets got too much firepower. Jamal Murray's back. Old Bowl, who's showing Michael Porter Jr., who they're giving more time to.
Yeah, and he's playing very well.
Yep, Nurkic.
Yeah,
like he's playing awesome. He's basically running point sometimes. I just think Denver has too much fire. They still have Paul Millsap. I have Denver.
I miss you, Paul.
We just miss winning, man.
I miss 60 win seasons.
Yes, going to the playoffs. Remember, we had the streak of most playoffs with the with
the
Antonio.
Spurs. Yeah,
Right.
which is crazy. Do you remember the days where people used to trash talk us? Oh man, you guys are trash. Well, statistically, since 08, we made it every year, the longest streak since other than the Spurs, which they recently just lost that streak. But yeah, we were second rounding out, and then one time we made it to the conference finals and got swept. But yeah.
So the last game is a good one too. Thunder and Rockets. And Westbrook is going to be injured for the beginning of the playoffs. Who you got?
Bro. It should be Rockets. But I'm actually gonna leave this one as a coin toss. That's gonna be my answer. Is
okay.
If Harden, look, when he's on, he's one of the best in the game. Nobody can score better than him. When he is cold or if he's lukewarm, it is not a good thing. It's weird that somebody needs to be so hot all the time. Or not.
And you're gonna prove my point. I have the Thunder. And the reason I have a Thunder is the Rockets are not a good 3-point shooting team.
They mold themselves to be a 3-point shooting team, but they're not actually a good 3-point shooting team.
Not percentage-wise, they're not a good 3-point, but they jack so many up. They cannot. They get bullied on the rebounds because they're playing small ball. I don't believe small ball really works.
Bro, against the Thunder.
Yeah, but also if you would have had a complete season, PJ Tucker to me would have got beat up so bad trying to play the center at 6'5" that it wasn't going to work in the playoffs. It works now because you had 3 months of rest and you can rest your body and stuff. Westbrook is going to be hurt at the beginning. James Harden, you just made my point. James Harden has to be like godlike to keep games, man. The Thunder are just too deep. They're too deep.
They really are. That's crazy.
You put Gallinari, if you want to play small ball, I'll put Gallinari at the 5 and have shooters all around. Chris Paul can shoot.
Oh, Chris Paul's gonna. Oh my goodness!
And Chris Paul is going to embarrass James Harden.
Yes, his old squad. Wow, there's so many headline stories in this.
He was shocked he got traded.
He was shocked he got traded. He had the big contract and the house. He was hoping to stay. Then you shock him and trade him to a team that was set up to fail.
Yep. You put him in the graveyard.
You did. Wow.
No, so I think Chris Paul is going to show out. I have the Thunder beating the Rockets.
I'm with you then. I'm excited. I'm with you. Yeah.
All right. So another thing we also have to get ready for, we will talk about it next week. We'll talk more in depth about it. The lottery is next week. Thursday the 20th. I cannot wait for the lottery.
The 20th, Thursday. Okay, yeah.
So we'll talk more about the lottery next week. But I just want to ask you a quick question about it.
Yep.
What do you want the Hawks to do with the lot? Like, where do you want them to pick, and what, like, you don't have to say player, but what position are you looking for the Hawks?
Position for the Hawks. I think they've set themselves up finally with a big man. I would still like to work on the forward positions a little more. Get more stability. I think we're very sound and set with point guard, and even shooting guard. But really, like a power forward position would be nice for me.
Back up, John Collins.
Yeah.
So you might be looking for like Obi Toppin.
Because I think everybody has a good starting role and then a pretty solid backup. But I don't think anybody's John Collins worthy behind him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a agree and disagree with you. I agree that we probably have our starters already set up. So we're looking to fill out the rest of the roster. I agree with you.
And that's how teams win championships, not with their starting 5.
Right.
It needs to go at least 8 deep.
Right. So the center position, I agree, is already put up. What I'm looking for is basically backup point guard who could play some shooting guard. So I'm looking like a Tyrese Halliburton, Killian Hayes, who are both 6'5", can handle the ball, but also play alongside Trae Young. That's why
that's fair.
I want us to not win the lottery and to be like almost pushed down to 6.
I was thinking in my head. I forgot to answer that part. I actually was thinking 6.
Yes, I don't think because the first pick is like Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, like James Wiseman. LaMelo Ball, remember I was banging the table for LaMelo Ball, and your mom even said like I was crazy?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. I'm crazy. LaMelo Ball does not play defense. He's not an efficient
we
shooter.
know that.
So you can't have another player who doesn't play defense along with Trae Young, who doesn't play defense. You can't.
It'll sell tickets though.
It will sell tickets, but we won't win games. So Anthony Edwards, he's a 2 guard. I can see Anthony Edwards because some people believe Kevin Huerter is a bench player. I guess it just depends on how you play. But Anthony Edwards isn't a good 3-point shooter. But some people say because he played at Georgia and he was their only weapon, that's why he wasn't efficient. He has spurts where he plays defense. Basically, Hawks do 2 things very bad. They don't defend, and they are the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. Those are the things they do bad. So I'm looking for a player to fix both of those things. Tyrese Halliburton, who plays defense and can shoot, even though he has one of the ugliest jump shots, he can shoot. And Killian Hayes.
Hey, as long as it goes in.
Yeah, as long as it goes in. And Killian Hayes, who can and a second ball handler. So they check all 3 boxes. I think if we drop to 6, that would be perfect for us.
I hope that the higher ups are listening to this or they know this. Because I'm tired of us knowing what they should do and then it not work.
I think.
And if it works and they do this and they don't make the playoffs again, you have to go with the new coach.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They said Travis Slink, the GM of the Hawks, said that we're not gonna pick based off need. We're gonna pick. So that means even if a position is filled, we're still gonna draft. I thought that was a good sign because that shows that even though we have Trae Young, we're gonna draft another point guard. This is not a point guard that we're going to draft to start over Trae Young, of course, but to be the second ball handler, to run the second team. Because remember at the beginning of the Hawks season, I said they did not have a point guard, and they tried to put a back.
We didn't have and
they tried to put Evan Turner in that role, and it didn't work.
My bad. That was my call.
You liked the trade. I hated it.
I liked it.
It didn't work. Now, we played better once
with the season ending, yes. I was saying that's why originally when you asked the question, I said Jeff T is your backup. Solid, he's there. You don't really need anybody. But if you're going to keep young, like a young squad, and want to grow with them, so solid backup point guard that can also run the 2. I think that would be really good because –
And you could get T back. It just depends on how much money he asking. He could be asking for too much. So it just depends on what he's asking.
Or even keep him in general because to be deep at point guard is not a bad thing. Or guards, period.
It's not a bad. And so I'm excited about the draft next Thursday. I'm super excited about that. And then we could talk about.
I'm super excited too because last year of us speaking similar around this time. Of us signing all these people to Evan Turner's, all them people, and you remember us picking up other contracts.
Right.
They were all 1 year. That year is now over. It's crazy how time flies, by the way, but that year is now over. So that roster gap, the space, the cap we have is massive. We have a lot of empty positions.
A whole bunch of cap space. And I think if we draft correctly, we should use that cap space to sign our own players. Do not get like a big. First of all, there's no big time free agent. There's no big time free agent out there, other than
that's interesting.
And he ain't coming to the Hawks. The other ones are all restricted. They're all restricted. Brandon Ingram is a restricted free agent, which means Pelicans can match any offer. So there's not a good. Donovan Mitchell is restricted. So you can't get them anywhere.
So sign. I guess you're right. It's kind of like a Clay. a Clay, Draymond, and
like
Steph.
the Warriors. Find your
Lock
own player.
those guys in. Keep being bad till you're good.
Yep. And then so hopefully Trae Young, John Collins, and my prediction is Cam Reddish is the third one. You sign those will be our three, and then everybody else will be supplemented around those three.
I still kind of want not in that money level that those other three will get, but Kevin should be in that too.
Yeah, I agree. I would like Kevin, DeAndre Hunter, all of them to stay for the long haul, but I'm just saying the main three. But the main three for me is Cam Reddish, Trae Young.
It's mine too. It's mine too. Yeah.
So
all right, I guess you should lock him down. Well, it's too early to lock or to do anything with Trae though. Right?
No, too early for him. Yeah, he's still on his rookie contract.
But not with Collins. You can do it.
Yeah, you can extend.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I do it. And obviously, way too early for Cam. Yeah.
Oh, way too early for Cam.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree though.
So let's switch to football as we kind of come to a close.
Football, we close it on out because it's starting.
Yep, football is starting. So this is my thing about the coronavirus. I always say you have to have 100% buy-in. And you had a rookie from the Seahawks, a rookie cornerback, got cut today by sneaking a girl.
How insane is that, guys?
Sneaking a girl in, got caught on camera, and got cut. Now, let's make this very clear. He was probably going to get cut in camp anyway. But to be cut,
no. Cut that part out. Let's say he had a chance. It's even better if he has a chance.
Okay.
If you say he's going to get cut anyways, then the story's not as good.
Right.
If he had a chance, regardless, he's on the Seahawks, right? You're on the Seahawks, regardless. So whether what you're saying or what I'm saying, regardless, you're on the Seahawks, you're a professional football player. Meaning you went through Pop Warner, middle school, high school, got to a good college, showed up, got a nice highlight tape, hit the weight room, had a nice combine, or whatever school you went to, all that stuff. And then you make it on the Seattle Seahawks. And you risk it all to bring a girl into the bubble. How insane is that? Just listen to your whole life was meant for this moment. Gone. And it's like because like somebody for that with this serious of magnitude of the coronavirus, people may not take you or give you another chance
because it was so stupid.
Yeah,
like you could have risked an outbreak in your whole team. And this is why you need a bubble. This is why without a bubble is never going to work because people are going to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but once I heard the news, I was trying to research who was the girl because I wanted to see her.
I want to see who the girl.
And I cannot find it. I cannot find it.
Well, that's actually good for her. Like, yeah. Because he would have been roasted. Well, depending.
Depends. But
but we'll leave it there.
I wanted to see that. So I've been sitting here trying to get articles. They can show me who the girl is. They haven't released that, or if they know, they haven't said it. But that's what I wanted. Who is she? And I can't figure it out yet. I'll let you know when
Please do. We might post it on our Instagram. But no. So it's weird what's going on with the bubble. And then speaking of the bubble and seeing actually the inside of it, Hard Knocks has happened on HBO. Yep. Hard Knocks, which we both love. It's a good show. So if for those who don't know, listening and watching and listening, Hard Knocks is on HBO, partnered with the NFL to follow a certain team. It changes each year. A certain team on their training camp leading all the way usually through preseason games up until the first game of the season. And then the show ends because, they cap it off before the actual regular season starts. But cool thing is, and I like, you get a double dose of teams because you have two teams because two LA teams, the Lakers. Well, they do. It's weird. Why are they always like two? But I guess they're popular in a big state of California. But yeah, the Rams and you have the Chargers. So two teams. So it's on HBO every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is not a plug, but yes, it started this past Tuesday, and they show pretty much what it's like. It's interesting. There's a lot of rules and restrictions, and a lot of people. You know what's weird about this, Daryl? You'll see it, and everybody watching, if you guys check it out, there's a lot of people who these players don't even know what the virus is. Just like we don't really, and they don't know. They just had. There's a little segment you'll see where they ask tons of questions. And you're over there like, wow, like I'm shocked they don't know anything. And then they're already in training camp. So they could have what you'll see when you guys watch and what I saw was the league is not prepared for a season. They're not prepared. If the players don't know what's up and they're already starting training camp, there's no way you guys are the likelihood of you guys succeeding is very slim. If they're in training camp, it's starting now, and they don't know what is going on or what's protocol. What does testing do? Like there are people asking, what is the test? Like they should have briefed them on this. There's no bubble, there's no nothing. So
these are kids too. These are kids that probably think they're invincible and stuff, and the athletes. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the episode yet, so I'm eager to watch it. But that's
why I'm trying not to spoil it for you or for them watching and listening. So yeah, it
came in not knowing the risk that you're really taking.
Yep, they weren't briefed. They don't know what's up.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So now it's literally like the NFL talked to themselves in their boardroom about starting a season. Barely had a plan. And just initiated it. Let's go with it. They only, might I add, got tested upon first arriving. They don't get tested. So far from what I've seen, they don't get tested like the NBA.
They actually just agreed with the NFLPA that they're going to be testing every day until sometime.
Have to look at how the NBA has worked. We're all wondering how we're going to get back to quote unquote some type of normality.
Right.
The NBA is giving you something.
But also how baseball hasn't worked. You know what I'm saying? Baseball showed you how it hasn't worked.
So NFL, guys, you have to see what's going on left and right. So NBA is working. Bubble. Yes. That's why that one episode. Check it out, guys, if you haven't. The bubble is key. The bubble is key. That's what it means. It's key for success. You have to have it to succeed.
And plus, you got to pick people from themselves, man. You can't
from themselves. Yes, yeah.
You have buddy sneak a girl in, know the rules, and still try to sneak a girl in wearing football equipment, like to make a scene like a football player, and got like.
Wait a minute, is that true?
Yeah, he tried to dress up as a football player. Like I don't know exactly. I don't think like football, like helmet and stuff, but I think like make her seem bigger and stuff. Like that was an actual player. But he tried to disguise her as a player and got caught on camera.
Yeah. Wow.
But the lengths that you go to, like you either want to play or you don't. And you have to know the risk going in. You can't sit here and like half-ass this thing because it's serious.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Speaking of something serious, really quick. Big 10, Pac-12.
Canceled.
College football wise.
Yep.
Said nope. No season.
They canceled. Canceled their season.
Canceled their season.
Right.
Which they said that takes out, I believe it was 40% of 40%. The Power 5.
Right.
The top conferences.
Right.
That's crazy. 40%.
Right. And
that also leaves somebody in that quarterback wise that doesn't get a chance to play this year.
Yep, Ohio State, Justin Fields does not play. This is my only thing about this. I don't blame them because I actually, I think college football is safer than NFL, and I'm only saying this because you can bubble them because you have dorms to do so.
Yeah, they go to school there. Yeah.
So but you have to isolate them from everybody else.
The other students, correct.
Yeah, so to me, it was safer. But if I'm Justin Fields and I want to play, can I transfer without penalty?
That's the question of the day. I was just about to ask you and everybody watching and listening. They should be allowed to transfer. If you cut my season and then other people get a play to boost their stock, you've seen that it can be one good year that can boost you to the top.
Yep. Joe Burrow. You've seen it.
You saw one season can get you number 1 draft pick. Now you're taking away what I can do. And then also, what about eligibility? Wonder if I had my mindset. Listen, wonder if I had my mindset of I'm trying to get out next year, provide for my family now. Right. I know. Well, dang, this too, Daryl. They were supposed to start being able to get paid next year. How does that work?
I think everything gets pushed back.
So with that being said, can he go pro next year?
I think he can. I think
if my season's canceled, I that's not my fault.
Yeah, that's not your fault. But also if you voluntarily say I don't want to play because of the virus, you should keep your eligibility. You shouldn't lose basically a year. Unless you want to. Like Justin Fields,
you
can go. But other than that, you should be an option to not lose your eligibility. But
so this should allow him, if he wants to come back, he should still be classified the same. But also, if he wants to dip out
he can.
to go pro, he should be allowed to. Yes.
But also, like, what if Jamie Newman in Georgia has a hell of a season? That means he jumps up higher than Justin Fields, who didn't have a season.
That's what I'm saying.
He loses money. He loses millions. Yep. I think you have to have it where a kid, if they want to play, and Pac-12 and Big Ten don't want to be liable, that's fine. But
let them transfer.
Let them go to the Big 12, SEC, ACC if they're able to do so.
If they're able, yeah.
But yeah, also this shows a thing that college doesn't have representation for their players. Like the reason the bubble worked in the NBA is because the NBA PA worked with the NBA. You had to work with the players; they had to work together. This is showing college football that like you don't care about the players at all. You don't care what they think. But you don't care what they think because you should at least had a representation for them at the table. Because what if they all to play at the Pac-12? I know they were talking about some with like the protest and standing up for equality still, but what if
the Pac-12 was already threatening to not play because of other reasons?
Still wants to play. What if the Big Ten majority players want to play and you don't even have them in the room? You made a decision without them. If you made a decision, then that's fine. But you made a decision without them because they don't have any representation, and that's not fair to them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. That's a lot to think about. But my biggest question of the day was the whole "can I transfer" thing, and they're leaving them in limbo. They don't know,
especially when Jim Harbaugh wants to play.
Yeah,
like he was one of talking.
So it's like, who made that decision?
Yeah,
without consulting the athletic directors, the coaches, all them people.
Who was in the room? Who was in the room? Was it only the ADs? Who was it in the room making this decision? And that to me is the problem. You have to have representation for everybody.
It's weird. It doesn't even sound like the ADs were in the room because like that's money.
Yeah, it sounded like Commissioner just said, "Nah, we're good."
I feel.
That's what it sound like. And I'm fine if everybody agreed to no season. I'm fine, but you have to have representation, and college has no representation for the players.
It's still weird, man, though, that you're playing conference-wise. Like, they started putting out the modified schedules of, like, in-conference matchups. Like, it's just crazy to see I'm only playing Georgia. I'm playing Florida. I'm playing, like...
Clemson can play Florida State, but can't play South Carolina.
Correct. Isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
I said for the most, they should have allowed... Florida could have had a whole conference by themselves.
Yeah, just in state. You can play your conference, but also in state foes you could play.
That's what I said that they should have done. But that is weird what you're saying too, because the Florida can't play Florida State, but Florida State can play Clemson, but Clemson can't play South Carolina, and it's like that's insane to me.
They can play Georgia Tech.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy to you too? With Georgia can't play Georgia Tech.
Yep,
bro, you're an hour away.
But I could play Tennessee. I could play Alabama.
Georgia State, Daryl, can't play Georgia Tech.
Nope.
You're in walking distance.
Yeah, they're right there next to each other.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
They should have at least tacked that on. They really should have.
Representation. Players need representation.
It's all over the place. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So that's all I have.
Yeah, that's it for me.
That's all I have. Smooth criminal episode. Nice and easy. I don't know where I was going with that, but hey, capped off the time that we normally do, and it was jam-packed with a lot of good stuff that was in the now. You guys have been caught up, been updated. Guys, I hope you like, again, for those listening on SoundCloud, guys got to check out this new layout. This overlay is just awesome. But yes, all in all, it's easy. Socials there is the Instagram. For those, well, I'm pointing for those listening on SoundCloud. It's all listed there. But it'll also be in the link in the description down below for SoundCloud, YouTube, SoundCloud. But guys, make sure you guys check out, like I said, our Instagram right there at Third String Podcast. We update there quite often and frequently on news articles and updates because at this point we're only a one time a week podcast of updating you with everything that happens beforehand, and then the next episode, what happens after this episode. So, but our Instagram keeps you guys in the now more so and updated. So yeah, that's all. And again, links will be in the description for both. But guys, with that being said, we'll catch you for episode 46 next week.
46
with another jam-packed episode with some more sports action going on. It's gonna be really good though. So I'm ready. Lottery and all. It's gonna be a good episode. So, all right, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. Stay blessed. Wear a mask and be well.
Please.